Welcome to GIS Day at the University of Redlands. I'm Jim Sandos, and I'm here to report on a project that my wife Patricia and I have been working on for at least 3 years. California Indians, under Franciscan direction, built 21 missions from 1769 to 1823. These missions were disestablished by secularization in the mid-1830s. Understanding the turbulent mission era has been made easier in recent years by combining newly digitized mission records and GIS. In our project, we have focused on Mission San Jose, mapping social and cultural change at a single mission to create a template to analyze the other 20 missions. Every mission was ordered to keep registers of baptisms, marriages, and deaths. This is an example of a mission register book for baptisms. The Franciscans were required to record certain information in each baptismal entry, including the number 1, the ego's baptism number, second, the ego's new Christian or Catholic name, 3, place of origin, 4, baptism date, 5, age, 6, ego's parents, and 7, ego's godparent, very important in the spiritual realm. Access to the digitized databases from these registers with the additional derived fields of language and modern-day village or rancheria location have permitted us to map. In the first map, we located and color-coded by language group the Indian rancherias, the Spanish word for villages. This is the outreach area for Mission San Jose, the mission with the largest population in the north, nearly 2,000 inhabitants at its peak, and more than 8,000 total baptisms. Mission San Jose also had the largest outreach area and the greatest language diversity. There were 3 major language groups within it: Ohlone, Yokuts, and Plains Miwok. Within each of these polygons, we located on the ground the rancheria name and the total number of people from that village who were baptized. Let's look at Tamcan. It's a Yokut-speaking village, 139 of which inhabitants were missionized. The next series of slides are taken from a time slider animation created in ArcMap, showing the percentage of baptism saturation over time in the Franciscan evangelization efforts, and depicts by gradations of purple the percentage of the total baptized population annually that had received the sacrament. The darkest purple designates 90 to 100% of the proselytization efforts were complete. By 1805, Franciscan evangelization had incorporated most of the Ohlone-speaking population, as you can see here. 10 years later, the efforts had moved into the Yokuts area. By 1825, the Yokuts had been absorbed, and the Franciscans were moving further eastward amongst the Plains Miwok speakers. The great jump between 1825 and 1835 is explained in part by the devastating impact of the malaria epidemic of 1832 to 1834, resulting in village collapse and the corresponding retreat of the survivors to the mission. By 1835, most of the remaining Plains Miwok had been recruited into the mission, but in a few years, following secularization, they would largely abandon it, and at that point they passed from the historical record. The reason for these active and ongoing recruitment activity was the high mortality rate in the mission, a die-off caused mainly by European-introduced diseases against which California Native Americans had scant immunity. We can see this visually in the graph showing the peak and decline of all 3 major language groups. We see the Ohlone peaking at 1805 and dropping precipitously after that. They're followed by the Yokuts, who reach their peak in the 1820s and begin to decline, followed by the Plains Miwok, who reach their peak towards the end of the mission system. Our project shows how spatial analysis helps us to gain a better understanding of the missionization process. The next step is to use this approach to learn more about individual Indians who lived, worked, and died in Mission San Jose, with special emphasis on those who appear repeatedly in its records. This spatial approach, aided by the tools of GIS, provides new insights into the energy, physical and spiritual, of California's mission enterprise, and offers a glimpse into the lives of those Indians who suffered in and built those communities. Thank you.